Hi.
Okay, so as in the comics and even the movies, like Gordon's opinion on Batman has kind of changed over the years.
Say again?
Like Gordon, so,
That's all right.
Commissioner Gordon's opinion and opinion and take on Batman has changed through the comics and in the movies and some of the cartoons over the years. So, what's Gordon's mindset for Batman towards him in this one? Is he still like see him as a vigilante or kind of as a friend?
He's leaning on him. He needs him in this one. Because there's so much going on. It's such a huge mystery about what all the behavior. These villains are having some strange behavior going on. And nobody knows what's going on. So, about the big force behind all of this. So, yeah, he still questions Batman's
his ethics and everything.
His ethics, but he needs him more than ever in this one. Got to get to the bottom of this.
What's your favorite aspect of playing Gordon? If you need to voice him.
The aspect of doing it?
Yeah, your favorite.
I think he's most like me because out of a lot of the characters I've played, just because he cares so much about protecting the people of the city. And I don't feel about that way about any particular city, but especially Los Angeles. But no, I think he's big-hearted. He really cares about the people. He wants to do the right thing, although he continually fails at it. I don't know how he has his job. The city's in complete chaos, always. Who the hell hires this guy?
Maybe nobody will take the job. They'll probably hit.
My favorite part, though, I guess, I don't know. It's a good question. He seems very close to me. That's all. That is all. I don't know.
So,
You stumped me.
sorry.
No, it's okay.
So Gordon's kind of like a character who's, you don't really think about as been like adapted so many times in terms of like different people taking it over, different character, like almost consistently different voice actor. So what would you say was your approach to making him, I guess, your own and to do your own take versus like other actors in the past who've taken their stab at adapting him?
Yeah, this is the third time I've played Gordon. So the only way I make it my own is to make it as close to me as possible. There's not an outside choice that I make to consciously do something different than anybody else did. I think the best acting is when people make the choice that's most personal to them, that affects their heart more, something that turns them on intellectually, or something about the character that is close to who we really are, so you can express that completely fully, and that's the character. I mean, you don't have to do a lot more than that, unless you're the Joker. You know, even Batman. Batman's just. I played Batman in a series of commercials, OnStar Batman, OnStar commercials. Back in 2000, 2001, 2002, I was Batman. So even Batman, like I think Michael Keaton's the perfect example of that, where I questioned whether he'd be good or not, but then he came out and he was like beautifully Batman, because Michael Keaton just brought out a darkness in him personally that just blossomed in this man named Bruce Wayne, I think. And that's all I can do, is to try to make Commissioner Gordon the most like what I personally would do in real life. Because he's just a simple guy who loves people, his family, and wants to do the right thing, wants to create a great place to live. Simple.
What's your favorite aspect of the relationship between Batman and Gordon?
I think whether or not Gordon is going to arrest him, as opposed to being his best friend. Really, because he relies on Batman to do all his dirty work for him, to keep the city safe, right? But at the same time, he probably has that discussion with himself, like, when's the day I'm going to have to bring this idiot in? Because he's ruining a lot for me. So. Probably that dichotomy.
This is a really dumb question.
Good.
But your name is Bruce Thomas.
Yes.
Which is the first names of the hero and villain in this movie.
Yes.
Did anybody point that out to you before?
No, but I realized that before myself. But nobody's brought that up. Let's talk to me. Yes. You're the first. That's cool. It's a good. That's a cool little trivia. Yeah.
It's also two generations of wings.
Yeah, right.
Yes, that's true. When I played the OnStar Batman, I used to have to go down. They had the Bat Cave stored at the Queen Mary down in Long Beach, and so I'd have to go down there and drive in the gate in the morning. So they had me on the list as the cast member, and I'd pull up and they'd say name, I go Bruce, and the guy at the gate would always say, "Aren't you taking your role a little seriously?"
Were you also in Birds of Prey?
No, I was credited that on IMDb for a while, but I had to tell them it wasn't me. It was not me. I don't know who it was. But I looked at it. In fact,
I saw that.
yeah.
Played a number of characters in the DC universe. Your voice is General Zod on the side. Are any one of the characters would you like to voice better than, say, Gordon or...
Oh, those guys. Those villains are always so much fun, especially in the DC world, as opposed to Marvel, because Marvel, their characters tend to be more voiced, more performed like regular people. They just happen to be schizos. In the DC world, you can play it up. So that's really fun to do. Doing Atrocitus in Green Lantern, or, like you said, General Zod, who thinks he's the ruler of the universe. I mean, you can go crazy with it. Even Desaad, who's this kind of menial villain.
This is kind of how the difference is this loser in the basement. Superman, I'll get you to my lair.
You can go crazy with him like that in the DC world. It's fun. It's fun.
Did you take anything from your personal experience or past experience with other characters and put it into this time around for Gordon?
My personal experiences in what?
Like something
In my real life?
Yeah, that helps you kind of formulate how you're gonna play Gordon this time around.
Yeah, I alluded to it before, but probably mostly I thought of him being a family man, because I am a family man. I've got 2 kids, and there's something about that. He's a father. That's a big aspect of who he is, and he's fatherly to the city. That would be my personal life addition to it. And I allow that to really. I couldn't tell you how I allow it to come out. I don't know. But I allow it to be. I don't try to remove it. A lot of times you'll get a role and remove certain things of who you are and let silliness or some other characteristic take over. But in this case, I just allowed more of me. More of really who I am.
Of the various live-action Jim Gordons that have popped up over the years that you've seen, which one do you think has best nailed the conception that you have of
Oldman.
the character?
Yeah, I just love Gary Oldman anyway, but... But yeah, I think he kind of walked that line, that dichotomy we were talking about before. I need you, I hate you. He just walked on either side of that line, every scene he had.
Kind of like a love-hate relationship.
Yep.
With those characters.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, and he does that beautifully.
Now, would you ever like to play Jim Gordon in live action?
No, never. No, of course I would. Of course I would. I'll never get the chance because it's always some big name. I'm not big enough. Unless you produce a movie.
I certainly will.
Was there ever an imaginary story where Jim Gordon was Batman?
In the comics.
Might be an Elseworld.
There is I don't know of it.
I know he's like,
Batman for a while. a couple years
yeah, with like with the mech suit and
Robotic
everything.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and apparently he's like 38 or something like that. They gave him like some ridiculous young age. Yeah, they're like, oh, you're 38? Wow, that's rough. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
All right. You guys didn't ask anything. What's going on over there?
I'm just a
Is there, do you prefer live acting to the voice acting?
I'd be lying if I said the ego that wasn't involved in live action a little more. Yeah, but from a performance standpoint, I don't think anything beats voice acting. You can be whoever you want. But also, it's a little more difficult in the sense that you can't hide. You can't make a face to cover up the fact that you're not really prepared in the scene. You can't pretend. Voice acting is either there or it's not. You've got to be there.
Do you ever go into the studio in your pajamas?
I do all the time. That is if I put my pajamas on. Sometimes it's just in the undies.
Since you've played Gordon in other things, and when you came into this, were they like saying, you played him before just playing like you've done it before, or did they want a specific version of the character just for this story?
It's interesting. Well, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking necessarily. I just got a call and was offered the.
Like when you're working with Wes Gleason, what's he telling you about how to play the character?
He doesn't. No, he'll shape it for sure, but we don't have a lot of discussion about content, about performance and intention of the character. And he trusts and supports, and he's really good at making a safe place just to play and feel comfortable. You lose all your nerves and all your ambition pretty much the second you walk in there, because you know Wes is on your side. Especially if he just calls and offers you the part. It's really nice.
Pretty much what's on the page that stands out to you.
Pretty much. I mean, the only thing he'll shape is the intensity. Like, we'll start out the film and talk about the tone, what they're looking for, how dark this is going to be. And then I'll usually start out pretty dark, and then we'll shape it from there. Either go really dark or add some humor, because Gordon's got occasionally a nice line or two to light it up.
Do you bring any of the history of the character that you've played so far into it, thinking you've already voiced him in some other movies, so this is where he and Batman would be in a relationship at this point?
I wish I was more well versed in the DC, in the comic book lineage to know all that, but I don't.
I just meant from his previous performance.
From my previous performances? Not really, because they're all a different world. They tend to be, as soon as you walk in the door, you start talking about, well, this one is this one is not this. We're going more romantic with Batman and Selina this time, or we're going dark, or we're going little lighthearted comedy, or we're going full martial arts. It's always a different kind of world that they're trying to create to separate themselves from the previous world. So, no, I can't really do that because of that. I can't bring anything with me necessarily outside of the virtues of Jim Gordon, who he is as a person.
Does Gordon know who Batman is?
I'm still wrestling with that. I think he does.